Hey, what's up everybody? Tommy Ady here. Thanks for showing up. Just to let you know where you're at, you're in my office in Boise, Idaho, downtown Boise, Idaho. This is a master class about using an entirely new approach to selling and closing deals along with selling some back-end protection products. And it doesn't take any extra work than you're doing right now. It actually shortens the process up. I can cut the time in half by doing it this way. If you don't know who I am, my name's Tommy Ady, and I'm the founder of this company, Tommy Ady Inc., and a few others. We're a sales company. We teach people in the power sports industry the best ways to sell. And I've been doing this for about 30 years now. I started as a car and motorcycle salesman when I was in high school still. My parents, they had dealerships that I worked in, started out part-time. And so I moved through the various management positions until I became a dealer partner. Then I opened up some retail stores in strip malls. Started a software company that you might be familiar with. It's called Moto Menus. Launched e-commerce sites with not these sites, but like Magento, BigCommerce sites, Shopify. And then in 2006, I really wanted to continue on in the power sports business, but without owning a dealership. And I was still doing a lot of stuff in the power sports industry, had a ton of friends and associates that owned dealerships, and I wanted to share the things that I knew worked, and that's why I'm here today. I've had this company for about 14 years now, and it's important for you to know this stuff about me. Otherwise, you might think I'm another consultant or trainer that has never done what I'm teaching. And I am one that does everything that I teach on a weekly basis. In fact, if you and I have never met before, then we're likely to meet while I'm desking deals in someone's dealership, or maybe I'll be spinning paper in the F&I office. I could even be setting up a BDC. I actively do everything that the rest of my team does. That way you can know that I might know what I'm talking about. So right now, a lot of dealers and salespeople and managers, they're coming to me right now because things have changed almost overnight. The sales game has changed. Now we're being told that certain industries are essential, while others aren't, even though maybe they're even operating in the same building because of this coronavirus scare that's going around the world. It's caused our government to stop everything but essential businesses, or try to. And we're not essential. I mean, our service departments are, our parts departments are. The only essential part of sales in most cases is if you've got a customer with a lease that's up, or maybe their motorcycle, their side-by-side ATV blew up, or it caught on fire. You know, they've got definitions in the rule book, the new rule book, but you won't get enough of those deals to make a living. So we've had to quickly figure out what we could do so we can keep selling power sports and making a living. And fortunately for me, I've been teaching this stuff for the past decade. We knew that eventually everybody would be doing it, but we didn't realize how it was going to happen. And this game changer has really stressed a lot of us out, because our political leaders are changing the laws on a daily basis now. And even though some of our dealers, salespeople, and our managers are continuing to have big successes in some parts of the country, it makes us really nervous because it could change overnight, which is totally understandable. So my goal right now is to share with you something that's working really well for our dealerships that are doing it. I never gave it a name, but I've always just referred to it as tactical selling. But I've been referring to it as selling without a showroom. And I discovered this, strangely enough, when I was doing some consulting work quite a few years ago. Not too many years ago, but with a larger dealer of mine in a little town here in Idaho, and I'm going to share with you how it works so you can try it too. But before I share this with you, I want you to think about something. You know how when you were a kid, you'd play games with your friends, and it doesn't matter if you were a boy or a girl, but you'd be in the middle of, how about dodgeball? Most of us have played and probably loved dodgeball. Everything's going great though, until somebody gets nailed in the head. And they get nailed so hard, they've got to change the rules. Pretty soon, some kids yell, "No headshots! Those are not allowed." Well, on my side of school, they go. But some kids start saying they don't count, and they're back in the game. But I was the kid that would get pissed off, call BS on the rule changing thing, and then I just quit playing. say, screw you, I'm out of here, and I'd go do something else until another day. Then I'd play again, I'm back in the game, and then the rules would go back to the way that they were supposed to be. This quarantine thing is similar. Right now, the rules are changing, and a lot of dealers, salespeople, managers, all sorts of people are acting like I did. They're bitching and moaning. Oh man, what are we gonna do? I guess we'll just wait it out. Wait until things go back to normal, or we'll just close. Fortunately, after I grew up, I quit going by the rules. I figured out years ago, during a time like now, is when you've got to figure out how to profit. Profit not from everybody struggles, but profit because you want to make some money, or you've got to make some money. Well, the rules have changed. The game has changed. And for those that wait for it to return the way that it was, they're not going to make it. Or if they do survive, they may have lost all of their loyal customers. Because many of these dealers, they not only never kept in touch with their customer base through like an e-newsletter, but now they're not even advertising. So then somebody like me talks to my dealers every morning, and I'm telling them, you got to market like your life depends on it. Because it does. Because when this thing's over, you're going to have stolen everybody's market share. So my goal today, though, is to show you how the rules have changed practically overnight, and we're ready, and I'm going to show you how you can do it also. Do everything over the phone, online, without floor traffic. So a few years ago, one of my dealers, they wanted to sell more snowmobiles, but they were in the middle of nowhere. In Nowhere, Idaho, they were already selling a lot of snowmobiles, but they wanted to get bigger. So this website was born. And it was a website where you could buy any brand of snowmobile at a discount, but still abide by the MAP policies of the manufacturers. We figured it out. And while you were picking out your snowmobile, you could not only choose the make, model, track length, and type of starting options that you wanted, like electric start or rope start, but you could pick out custom graphics too. But it didn't end there. Next, you would choose one of the multiple setup packages, and you had to do this. Anything from getting a practically untouched snowmobile that didn't even have the handlebars in place, to a new sled that had a couple of grand in performance parts already added, and was professionally tuned. But next, if you ordered your new snowmobile by a certain date, you'd get a free night stay at an incredible lodge overlooking the Snake River, right on the edge of the beginning of some of the world's best snowmobiling. It sounds pretty awesome, right? I mean, but it was. It really was. And it was the offers they had. Anyway, when that site was launched, we also had a chat set up to talk to the leads that were surfing on the site. We'd answer any of the questions, and we'd lead them right over to a Buy It Now button. And it took off with maybe like a dozen or so sales in the first month, and then it just started increasing. And the customers loved it because they could go to this website, get a special price on a brand new snowmobile, scan over 3 or 4 special offers on it, so it was accessorized, get some payment options, extend the warranty if they wanted to with upfront pricing on everything, maybe even theft protection, gap coverage, and then just pull out a credit card, put $500 on it, and wait for it to show up at the dealership in the winter or late fall. Done. Pretty quickly, they turned over to F&I before they showed up, which is one of my specialties, so we'd call them out. Call them up to help with the financing, make sure that they were all set with the money when the sled showed up. That dealer changed the game. They sold a ton of snowmobiles, but nobody else wanted to play the game. No one else had a chance. Within weeks, the factories were calling to say, hey, we can't do anything to you, but could you shut this site down? We're getting a lot of complaints, but you've got dealers from 1,000 miles away saying, this isn't right. Will you just shut it down? It was so much fun being a part of that. It was awesome. That was total disruption of a market. But these guys, they haven't quit. We all looked at the rules. We all knew how they read, and we were good. So I want you to know you're in the right place for this. That wasn't my first time doing that, and it won't be my last. This isn't going to be my last, but now I'm sharing the secrets. And here's secret number 1, how a salesperson can sell a motorcycle, a snowmobile, any of that, without having a customer come to your dealership and still making a bunch of money. Secret number 2, I'll show you how to perform the F&I process, the easiest way to offer and sell all the products that you've already got without a customer coming to your dealership. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to give you all the slides so you can get started on this. Now, here's a quick tip. You're probably going to pick up a ton of things that you're not doing right now. Some of it you might not even agree with, but I promise that if you just pick out a couple of things that I'm going to teach you, you'll increase your sales within hours or maybe a couple of days. And the reason why I'm giving this away is because every time I share it, a bunch of people buy into it, they start making more money, and then they purchase one of my programs. Then it's a win-win for you and a win-win for me. So you're in the right place. Now listen closely, take notes, and you're going to take away some really awesome techniques that only the best of the best are doing. You need something to write on. Grab a pen and paper. Seriously, I'm going to wait for you to do that too. You also need to turn your cell phone off, quit joking and chatting with each other, because I need you focused. So here we go. So you know the 6 customer types. We've got the walk-in, the repeat, referrals, B-backs, phone ups, and internet leads. They've all got one thing in common, and that's they're all buyers. They will all buy. But some are a lot easier to sell than others. And if you're wondering what these numbers are for right here, they're closing ratios. The higher the number, the easier they are to sell. The walk-in normally has a 15%, 20% closing ratio. The repeat's around 80%. Referral is around 60%. Be back at 70%. And a phone up, I guess, I shouldn't use too much slang. The phone up is just an inbound phone call. They've got a 90% closing ratio. And then the internet buyer's at 90% too. And I should tell you, they've got something else in common. The higher the closing ratio, normally, the higher the gross profit, which means they're willing to pay you more money. But I know what some of you that have been in this business, wait, I know what you're saying right now. Phone ups don't close at 90%, right? And internet leads closing at 90%? What are you smoking, Tommy? There's a catch with these closing ratios. All 6 of these customer types used to have one other thing in common when it comes to closing ratios. These were real closing ratios if you're able to get these customers in the store. They all have to be in the store. That changes things. But now remember, the game has changed. And I'm going to head over to my desk so I can do a deal in today's world, because some of our states say we can't have a customer come in our store. And we've got dealers out there right now that are proving you don't need that customer to come to your store. They're doing it right now. So let me show you how it's done. Okay, so I'm over at my desk. So the different customer types, they need to be handled a little bit differently. And let's see, as I'm getting set up here. So, I got to tell you, I wish I could show you my entire setup. When I'm when I'm running a F&I office, sales tower, whatever it is, I like to have multiple monitors. So I always recommend you got to have multiple monitors. And if you're going to do things online, because you certainly don't want to be desking a deal. If you're a manager, you don't want to be desking a deal and accidentally show the wrong screen to your customer, and all of a sudden they see your cost. They see something that they should not see. And same thing with F&I. You don't want to show the customer the wrong screen. So I always have a couple of different monitors. And so that's what I've got right now. And I will, let's see, I think we're all set. So I'll show you how this works. But anyway, for example, take the internet customers. That's who we're going to do this off of right now. Let's do a deal. Here's how it goes. My example is going to be a BMW motorcycle. Something made this customer think they should look at BMW. Something made them pull that trigger. So they get on the internet, end up at your website. They choose a unit, and here's how it goes. It's this BMW F900R. Well, you know what? What should it be? What BMW is this? This is, I think this is a 300. Anyway, you're going to find out what it is here in a minute. It's not it is not. Always know what you're selling. And I'll tell you in a minute what the heck this thing is, right? I requested a 900. You know what? I don't know what this is. Obviously, I'm a dirt bike guy. And BMW doesn't make dirt bikes anymore. Let's say that this is an F900R, but I know it's not. It's a BMW. And so here's what I'm gonna do. They click on request a quote. See, they're at your website, they click on that. They put their info in, they hit the submit button. Now they get, within seconds, they get an email back from you, which by the way, should not be this email that you're looking at. This is a real email, and it's a bad one. It's bad because it looks like the rest of the emails coming from every other dealership in America. But thank you for your request. Little secret here though. All of the emails that we create are tested and measured before I print them in any of my material, which, let's see. What have I got? Have I got it? Well, yeah, you guys know about my book, Expert Email Secrets, surely. We've got phone scripts for motorcycle sales, and there with that. Anyway, the email subject lines are tested for ratings. Did you know that you could do that? You could rate them? I never did until I met the person that created the company that does it. So this subject line, it scores a 59 on a scale of 1 to 100. And this matters because your first challenge is getting your email open and to stand out in front of your competitors' emails. That takes a different kind of subject line. That's what a good subject line is for. You gotta get the emails to grab attention and get open. So here's one that we set this dealer up. This subject line, here it is, says, okay, it comes over. Your quote is ready. Call 1-866-564 blah. This scored 71, and that's a good score. So your customer gets this email. They're not likely to call the number on the subject line, but they're thinking about it. But they'll start thinking, hey, these guys are good. Let's see what's in here. And they open it, and that's all we're trying to get them to do. And then it says, hey, Tommy, thanks for showing up to our site and get some more information. That's what we're here for. We're going to be contacting you shortly at the phone number that you provided. And obviously, guys, if it's the middle of the night, they know you're not going to be calling them in the middle of the night if they left their phone number. People know that. But we tell them we might have a few more questions to make sure that you get set up with all the current offers that we've got going on right now, you know, like Costco, Amazon, USA, Alaska, FCU, etc. While you wait. Check out our reviews or read up about everything that's power sports related on our blog. Don't wait for a call. That's what we're telling them. Don't want to wait for a call. And it's regular business hours, call us. And we've got the phone number in there. And we let them know you can text us too, and we'll text you back if you'd rather do that. Our texting number is right there. So, it's always dry in here. So, in this email, we're doing a couple of things. We're buying time for the salesperson that's going to help this person. You know, the salesperson, they've got to get a personal email sent out and make a call to this customer within 15 minutes of receiving the lead. That's real. And yeah, you can see I've got it pulled up there. Pied Piper, they're the ones that do the studies. We know it's real, but most people don't do it. But what we're doing, for every hour that goes by without you contacting that customer, they get further and further away from ending up buying from your dealership, buying from you. They're drifting away. So we've got to snag them as quickly as we can. And this initial email, it is the most critical one this customer is ever going to see from your dealership. It sets up the likelihood of the customer opening all future emails. If your first one sucks, they may have no reason to ever open up another email from you. So it can't suck. It's got to be a good one. It's got to have the subject line that grabs their attention. It's got to be a good email. But anyway, then the salesperson that the lead is assigned to is sending their own personalized email. And once again, It can't be the normal, cheesy, grammatically perfect email that sounds like it's coming from Prince Charles. So you send this email, and then you pick up the phone, and you call. Unless the customer already called you. Now, whether they connected or not, the salesperson walks over the motorcycle, over to the motorcycle that you're trying to sell. Unless you've already done this, then you know what I'm talking about. If you have, then just reuse your video. But so I go over to the motorcycle and I do a short video of it. I film it on my phone. I walk around it, maybe mention a couple of cool things about it, and then back over to my desk and send the video to your shared file and pull up an email that looks like this. Talk like a real person, as in don't talk like a salesperson. Just tell the customer, I wanted to check to make sure that we had it, that it was in stock. Here it is. Looks great. It just hit the floor. Are there any other questions that you might have? And that's what I do with the customer. Let's see. Where do we go now? Let me click on the right side here. Okay, I'm gonna play this video. We did a walk around for you. So I'm gonna let you check this out. Listen to this. Hey, it's Tommy here over at Carl Cycle Sales. I'm going to show you the all-new 2019 Honda Talon 1000R. Okay, so yeah, so that's a great video right there. And if you don't know what to say, well, you better figure out what to say. But let's say you really don't, you're not good in front of a camera, then all you do, just walk around it in silence, make that video, then go back to your desk and put some music with it. Of course, you should speak on it to share feature advantage benefits with your customers so they can hear about it, get them excited about it. But anyway, that's what you got to do. And then I'm going to ask the customer, are there any other accessories that you wanted? I'm going to send this email to them. I might send a text, depending on if they've given me permission to text them, and I'll let them know, hey, here's a short video. By the way, is this for work or play? And the reason why I ask is because there could have been some incentives that you might qualify for. You know, interest rates, payment terms, discounts. Anyway, my name's Tommy, and you can text or call me at this number as soon as you've got any questions. I'm building rapport, guys, right now. Building some value. I might do the same thing as an F&I person, depending on how good I am. I'm good. So let's say it's, I don't know, wintertime. We've got tornadoes going on. Oh, wait, I know something we've got going on. Pandemic, coronavirus. Customers aren't coming in. Guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be creating videos to send, personalized videos to send to my customers that have already signed up, but their warranties are expiring, or they don't have warranties. They didn't get one. They're about to expire. I've been through this before, guys. This is what you got to do. So I'm building rapport right now, building some value with features, advantages, and benefits. Now the buyer finds out that I'm pretty genuine, and they get back to me. I'm not that regular cheesy salesperson or salesperson that just sucks. So next thing is they ask about the incentives, rates, payments, and prices, right? They're curious about those. Nobody else mentioned a thing. So I send over a personalized offer, and it looks like something like this. But before I do, I text them. I don't want them to see my offer without me. I text them, hey, John, I've got a couple of special offers to go over. Have you got 10 minutes? And can you, if you do, can you be at a laptop or a desktop so I can go over everything with you right now? I'm at my computer. Yeah. So then I have to be at my computer when I'm sending this to them or when I'm making this phone call. So I'm all set up for a little meeting. I don't want the guy to say, yeah, I can do it. And then I ran down the street to get a bite to eat. So anyway, he texts me back a yes, and I email a link over to the customer. But he can't see the numbers that I've got until he's logged on with me. Because if I show him the numbers, it's when they turn into ghosts. I'm keeping control of this customer the best that I can. It's kind of like I'm doing right here with you guys. So I'm not going to let him see the numbers until he's logged on with me, which I sent over a link. I've got my web camera going. I've got my computer right here. I've got a couple of different screens, and here we go. So he gets logged on. He's going to see who I am, the real me. And now I show him my screen. I treat the entire deal like he's right in front of me, though, and like it's a piece of paper. And now, John, here's the unit. He's seen the video. He's seen the pictures, feature, advantage, benefit. He knows it's awesome, or I said mule. I'm selling a BMW. So it's the 2020 or 2019 BMW, and here we go, just one sec. So here's the unit. It's the 2020 BMW. Normally it sells for, and I made all these numbers up, so I don't know what they sell for, but I've got my pricing in there. If I discounted it, I show what the MSRP was. But if I didn't, then I don't show the MSRP. Or no, I just show the MSRP, not the selling price. But your price is $97.99. Manufacturer freight is $399 setup, $199. And then you're getting $500 for your trade-in, subtotal of $98.97. And you've also got another 9 different payment options. You can put like an extra $250 down out to $1,000 down. Which option works best for you? You see what I'm doing? So I'm trying to close this guy right now over the internet. That's it. At this point, your customer is going to choose a payment option, or they're going to throw out a starting point to negotiate. Okay, some people, and what that is, when some people say, well, no, that's not going to work, or I've got you beat, or it doesn't matter what they say. But if they did not choose a payment option, then they throw a number out there. If they don't throw a number out there, get them to throw something out there, and you're at a starting point. That's how you start the negotiations. And since this is a lesson, though, on doing your deal without the customer in front of you, and it's not a lesson on negotiation secrets, let's say he just chose the payment option, because we're not going to go back and forth right now on negotiating. I'd ask about the down payment then. Is it going to be a debit or credit card that you're putting that on? It doesn't matter what the answer is, but I'm asking an either or. The reason why, here's the secret that I'm doing. Everyone has one or the other. I mean, everybody does. Some people will tell you they don't, but they've got one. And that's exactly what I want, which is why I asked that either or question. The customer says it's a debit card or a credit card, and I say, great, we're not going to run it right now. If you're not, we're not going to run it right now, but that'll also be your deposit to hold it. Is that going to be on a Visa or a MasterCard? What's that number? Now, over to the credit application. Okay, so I just sealed my deal right now. I've got his deposit. Everything I need is bookmarked also on my screen. I'm meticulous with my files. I know where everything's at. I've got a file for everything. I've got a bookmark for everything that I need, and I can get right there. So anyway, I open the credit application now. I'm not letting this guy go. I open up the credit application. I start asking questions. Now, if you aren't supposed to do it for the customer because of dealership policy or something else, maybe it's state regulations where you're at, then give the customer control of the meeting. Right there. You click right on your screen to give them control. Now he controls the screen. She controls, I call everybody a he. So they can control your screen, and they can fill out the credit app with you sitting there watching them, but they're not in the store. Now they're filling it out themselves though. Once that's all done, I go back over to the other offers that I've got, which you can see right there. Click on that and see which one they want. They see what that's going to add to the payment, and I'm done. Just did the second sale right there. That's the second sale. Easiest sale there is. First one's the toughest. Oh, and I have them, of course, send over a copy of whatever I need. Driver's license, take a picture on the phone, any of that stuff. I don't tell them to do this stuff after we hang up or after the meeting's done, but I have them do it while I'm online with them. If there's a cosigner, then I get their info, or if it's one of those tough cosigner spouses, then I put them in the meeting too. Get them in there. Nobody else is going to do it. Everybody can join in. Next question. When did you want to pick this up? In a couple of hours or more like tonight? Whenever you want them to show up, I'm going to arrange that. That's going to be part of my schedule. When did you want to pick this up? Did you want to pick it up this evening or more like tomorrow? And right in front of their faces, I click on this, schedule, my schedule. Guys, this stuff works. Just nobody knows how to do it, or they haven't thought of it. Well, I mean, I've got the software company. Isn't this awesome though? Let's move on to finance. So they're approved. We're social distancing, right? I set up another appointment with both of them. This time I want them together. Unless you're set up for e-contracting, I want them signing the exact same papers. So you've got two people, I want their signature on one sheet of paper. But it depends on who you're set up with. As far as your state goes, as far as your lenders go, your DMS goes, but we all log in to the video room. So here's how it goes. We're all logged in, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. The first thing I want to do is I want to go over the figures. Now this is F&I, okay? Make sure that they're the same ones. I want to make sure that these figures are the same ones that you got from your salesperson. Is that okay? Great. You're getting a 2020 BMW, the, what is this? 900, right? It's brand new, no miles on it. Selling price is the $97.99 right here. You've got freight setup. What else do we have? Yeah, setup and freight, prep. I think that's it. Oh, we've got our dock fee, $99 dock fee. And you're putting, you're trading in your CRF 450. That's, let's see, you got $500 trade allowance there. And $250 down. You chose a payment 48 months at $258. Great. Does all of that look correct? So they're looking at it, and at first they thought, well, this is the F&I guy. This is the guy that's going to bump us. He's going to throw all these extra fees in because they may have experienced that before at a car dealership. So they say, yeah, looks great. And so now I've got some credibility with them. This is a mandatory disclosure that I'm going to show you right here. You're entitled to some other repayment options. Is it okay if I show those to you? They're going to say yes. I asked them that in F&I because now they're saying, yeah, it's okay to try to sell something else. That's what I'm doing. Is it okay if I show those to you? The first one is this one right here. Second one is this. And what it's going to be, you're going to, let's see, it's got the extended service contract in there. It's got a gap coverage. You've got tire and wheel. And then the third one is going to be this one right here. And it's the promotional plan. Has everything in there. And it's going to be a lower payment. Which one works best for you? Now, if that seems like it was simple, it's because it's very simple. What we've learned over the years is that people expect a sales pitch from the business manager and they're prepared for it. They've heard about you. They know that you're going to sell them something. They know that you're the one with the dog and pony show. They also know that they want and they need some of the products that you're going to be offering them. Right now, they know a lot of people are losing their jobs. Maybe they don't even have jobs. They know that once a year or once that factory warranty expires, and I don't know how long it is on a BMW, but once that factory warranty expires, they're not going to have the budget to fix that thing when it breaks. No, 76% of America lives paycheck to paycheck. Now, for one thing, everything that man makes breaks. That includes BMWs. And they're not cheap to, I mean, everybody knows things aren't cheap to fix, but you take something like that, parts are coming over from Germany. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. They also know that they're probably leaving here upside down. They're not going to be able to pay off the loan if it gets totaled or stolen. They know they should probably get the gap. They're totally prepared for your sales pitch, though. What they don't want is a sales pitch. They're not prepared for you to not give them a sales pitch, though. When you verify the numbers, you tell them that they're entitled to some other repayment options, and you present them to them and you ask them, you want any of them? Well, they don't know what to do. They can't fight you on that. So they choose what they want. Now, they initial their choice on here, and you print the paperwork, which the way it goes, you can give them control once again. And depending on how you have your form set up in whatever system you're using, you can let them click on boxes, type in information. Depends on what you want to do. Just depends on who your lenders are and how you're set up in your dealership. You put all the papers on the screen. They start initialing and signing. DocuSign. At the end, you print everything out, put it in an envelope. You can email it to them, and also hand the actual papers over to your delivery specialist. And you just did an entire deal, cradle to grave, without ever having the buyer step on the property. This really just happened. And it really is this easy. Isn't that awesome? I mean, seriously. I love selling like this. And you just modify it a little bit for the different customers. For different reasons, for different situations, this has cut the time that it takes for someone to buy something in more than half. And I mean, who really wants to go hang out at a motorcycle dealership for 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday trying to buy a bike? Once a store figures out how to do this, now the marketing can increase. Now the salespeople start selling more, so they're happier because they can get customers in and out faster because customers aren't hanging out for 4 or 5 hours. It's just a really easy modern way to buy something that people are used to spending hours or even days making a purchase on. And when, say you've got marginal credit customers, they're doing the same thing. But guess what they're not doing? They're not hanging out at your desk for 8 hours waiting to get that approval. They're at home. And then you need to know what to say to ice them down, to keep them from calling other dealerships. And you can do that too. You just have to know what to say. And they won't do it. They'll just sit there and wait for that approval. Wait for that call. So, guys, I've got these secrets because certain people have been paying me a lot of money to keep them a secret, but now is the right time for me to share them. I mean, what better time when we're not supposed to have people coming in our showrooms? And now I've got dealers figuring out how to do this stuff because some of them have to. Because I hate watching so many people suffer from the old ways of selling, from thinking there's no better way. During my first few years of selling, I thought that I had to get everybody in the store. Everybody had to demo. The sales trainers, they always said, you can't sell something over the phone, and you can't take a trade over the phone. You can't do it over the internet. And then myself and a couple of friends that I sold with, we started thinking, we can sell over the phone. Why can't we? We lived in the middle of nowhere with the dealership I grew up in. We can do it without ever having a customer come in the store. And we became Kawasaki's #1 ATV dealer in the United States in a town of about 8,000 people in Eastern Oregon. This is all you really need to make it easier. You just need to know what to say when you're sending emails and text messages. You need to know what to say on the phone, which, yeah, it's the phone scripts book. It's all about knowing what to say and just using a computer. So you should probably know how to overcome objections. You need some scripts. Does everybody on here know what scripts are? Scripts are the things that actors use. They're just lines of words. Actors read the words over and over until they're memorized, and then they act. And they get paid millions of dollars for reading them. I've written hundreds of scripts for, did I say? Yeah, they get paid millions of dollars for reading them. I swear I said 100. Anyway, I've written hundreds of scripts, probably thousands, but then I started paying attention to my emails, my text messages, but I wish you could see what some of these salespeople have done with their lives. They're selling 300, 400, and 500 units a year, and not because they're working overtime. They've just figured out a process that works. It's tested, it's proven, and it works. I mean, what would that do for you? Let me ask you a question. This stuff has been pretty good, right? You've been with me for maybe 30 minutes or so. If we had more time, then I'd share so much more, but we've all had a pretty good time, right? You've learned some good stuff, but an hour is not that long. How would you guys like to work with me directly, where I could actually help you implement what we're talking about, what we just talked about? Let me ask you a question. You want to sell more, right? The game has changed, and it takes different tools, different skills now. But you need to know what to do, and you need to know what to say. You want to be that person that customers will pay more money to because you say the right things, you ask the right questions, and they also know that you're efficient. How would you like help with this? How many extra sales would you need to make you satisfied? Imagine if you could get an extra 50 sales a year. What if you only got 25 sales a year? What about 100 sales a year? What kind of money would that be for you? How would you like it if I could actually help you implement this? Because I can. Most dealerships have, say, an advertising expense every month, right? Every month you've got to advertise, but quite a few dealerships don't have a training expense. They rely on factory training, product knowledge, or they've got some free videos that teach salespeople how to say hi to customers, how to make friends, how to do a tour of the dealership, but none of them actually show you how to sell, to increase your sales, how to close, how to sell over the internet, how to sell over the phone, and with text messages, how to make more money. So here's what I'm going to do. Shift some of your training over to a proven system that'll generate sales almost immediately, because the money that you put into this is going to turn into more money. It doesn't go away. This is evergreen. It continues working. Okay? Now, let me talk about what you're going to get. I told you that I was going to offer you something at the end of this. I told you I had something for you. I put something together for you, and now I'm going to show you what it is. This is a live training series with me that starts on Thursday, April 23rd. It's about an hour each morning, 3 days a week for 4 weeks, with detailed instructions by me from start to finish on taking your sales process online. This is for the salespeople. It's for the sales managers. It's for the F&I managers. It's for the dealer, for the GM. This is personalized training for the dealership. It comes with workbooks for up to 6 people, logins for 6 people. Everybody gets their own login to the online content. And we know if you're watching it, well, a lot of it's live. Some of it's, you have access to recorded stuff. And it's all measured. We know what you're doing. But it's to make sure everything is being implemented. And for that is a $6,000 value. And you get all my email templates with the exact scripts that I use to make sales. They're all in the workbook. These are the hardest hitting email scripts that I've ever created in the workbook. And that is a $197 value. The second thing that you're going to get is Expert Phone Secrets class, which is over 40 videos of sales help, and that's a $497 value. The third thing that you're going to get is my 4-step phone call system that makes money, and that's a $197 value. Then you're going to get my perfect email that gets 100% opens, and it's a $27 value, and you'll get my 10 sales in 72 hours system. That's another $27 value. You'll get my Newbie Ninja email. That's kind of corny, huh? But it works. My Newbie Ninja email for new salespeople, which is the email a new salesperson has to have, and it's a $27 value. Should be required to have. And then 6-figure subject lines, that's another one you'll get, $37 value. The total value of everything here is $7,009. I could charge that, but I'm not going to. But let me ask you, if all this package did was get you an extra couple of sales per week, would it be worth it? If all this package did was gave you a kick in the butt to start saying the right things in emails, text messages, and on the phone, would it be worth it? What if it gave you an extra 100 sales each year? Would that make it worth it? But don't worry, I'm not going to charge you that. So what's one sale worth to you though? Is it worth $1,000 or $100, a few $1,000s? Depends if you're the salesperson or the dealer. It depends. It could be worth thousands. How much would it add up to over a year? What if it added 2 or 3 sales each week? You'd probably do it, wouldn't you? Because it's a good deal. I think, and I haven't even told you how much I'll sell it to you for, but I think that you can see why dealers pay me a lot of money just to train them on this stuff. It works. But don't worry, I'm not going to charge you $7,000 for it. You're getting it for a fraction of that. I'm not even going to charge $5,000 for it. I'm going to do all this for $29.97. That's $2,997. So a lot of you guys have been on webinars in the past. You get fired up and you get excited, and then what happens the next day? Probably nothing. And it's sad because I've showed you guys exactly what I do to sell more in a week compared to what it takes most salespeople a month to do, if not a couple of months. You've got my exact script. You're going to go back tomorrow and you're not going to do anything. Now you're going to get the slides, but you're going to go back and not do anything. And the reason why is because old habits are really hard to break. You'll go back to your desk and you'll do the exact same thing tomorrow morning. The only way that you're going to be successful is if we figure out a way to break the habit right now. Okay? And the way that you're going to break that habit is by investing in this course. Now, I can come here and I can help you and I can give you all the tools that you need so you can break that habit, so you can become successful at selling motorcycles. If you don't do that, you're going to slide right back into the exact same habit, which doesn't work anymore. Everything we did here the last hour or last half hour will be pretty useless because it's so easy to slip back to your old habits. So the only way to break that is to invest right now so you have the tools to break that habit and take this to the next level. Look, this is the way it is. People in life can have one of two things. You can have money or you can have excuses, and that's it. So right now you've got two options. Number one, you can sign up and get involved and go make some money. Or number two, you can say why you couldn't afford it, why you can't do it, why you don't have enough time, right? Right now is a time you can't use that excuse. Nobody can say they don't have enough time. Whatever your excuse is today is fine. But the reality is you can't have both. You've got to have money or excuses, and you've got to decide which one you want. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have money. If you're ready to take some massive action in your life and dealership and do some cool stuff and change your life, change your dealership for the better, if you want to join us, then this is what we're going to do. Get that package. Get signed up. It works. What else have we got? It's about time I got to bounce. I've got to head over to the surgeon and find out what kind of a back surgery I'm having. So, fourth one, yes, motorcycles, hard on your back at times. But guys, I appreciate you coming in here, letting me into wherever you're at right now, in your dealerships, in your homes, your living rooms, and listening to this. So watch your email to get these slides. We're going to get them sent over to you. And I think that's about it. So you got any questions about this? Reach out. Oh, one last thing. This program, it's limited to 5 dealers. And that's it. Because obviously I got to spend some time on it. I do it 5 hours a day, 4 days a week. So it's limited to the first 5 that get signed up. So click that button. Let's get going. I hope to see you there. Sell a bunch of stuff.